So this is the opening page of my 2020 bullet journal. As you can see, I wrote the words 2020 begin again on the right side of the page, and on the left side of the page I have this quote by Vincent van Gogh. It reads, "Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together." I wrote that just because I really liked the colors of this painting that I had from a postcard, and I wanted a Vincent van Gogh quote to go with it. Next you'll see my year at a glance that I used for school. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with the rest of it. Then I have my manifestations for the year that I blurred out because I'm now trying to put all of that out on the internet. And I have my projects and papers that I needed to keep up with for school. And then I have a page for my video ideas. Didn't use it much. I had stuff to watch, read, and listen to. Did not use that much at all. And then we get into my first monthly spread. So I did a September monthly theme based mostly on Amanda Rachley's September monthly theme. A lot of the stuff that I did in my bullet journal was based off of stuff that she did. But as you can see on this page, like, my habit trackers and my mood trackers, my spending trackers, I never use them. Like, I just don't find them really useful to me. And I don't really find the data that they produce to be that useful either. So you can see, there's a lot of pages that are left empty, a lot of spots on pages that are left empty, and I think that's just a byproduct of, like, using a bullet journal. It's not always going to get filled up. Like, you see this page, there's not a whole bunch written on it. That's a blank page. Like, not everything is going to get filled up in the journal. But then we get into October, which is one of my favorite months of the year. This was inspired by this girl on Instagram, Jenny Journals. I'm going to link her account down below. But it was like this alchemy theme, and I saw it and I loved it. And so I wanted to recreate it in my own, like, color scheme. November was a theme that I came up with by myself. It was based off of oak trees because where I'm from, the white oak is the state tree. And yeah, like I said before, like, I don't know that I used all of these spreads. I don't know that all of these were necessarily done on the, like, quote unquote normal timeline. Like, some of these I didn't even do until the third day of the week, but I did still have fun with the exercise of making a lot of these spreads. And then you'll see in December, this is another one that was inspired by Amanda Rachley, and I just really loved this. I don't have craft paper. I should probably get some, maybe, if I'm gonna keep, like, doing bullet journaling. Oh yeah, that's a mood tracker that I didn't really fill in. But I used brown paper bags, and I really liked that. I just, like, crumpled up and glue sticked in some brown paper bags, and that was just really fun. And that's the end of my 2020 bullet journal flip through. I just did it from September to December because, like I said in the beginning part of the video, I just wanted an academic planner for the year. And next we're going to be getting into my 2021 bullet journal. So a lot of this was me deciding that more than anything, I needed a planning system that was going to kind of give me a more holistic look at my year, as opposed to the more compartmentalized version of the year that I had in my monthly spreads previously. Those were useful to me when I was in school, and I constantly had to-do lists that I had to make and a bunch of assignments that I had to turn in. It was really helpful to have that system, and even sometimes I didn't end up filling out those spreads because I would just get so bogged down with my work. But seeing as this is my first year out of university, I just wanted to have something that I could look back on this year and see a general view of how I felt. And so you'll see here that this is a spread that was inspired by Marceli Kenny on Instagram. I followed her Instagram this year. I really love everything that she does. And she's just this Brazilian bullet journaler. And she had this spread where she wrote the word 2020, not the word, the number 2020, and things that happened for her in the year 2020 around it as a retrospective. And so I thought that that was a great way to start my journal, because 2020 has been quite the year. It was quite the year, and yeah, I just wanted to commemorate it. So that's me. This is me drawing the 2020, and then I also did like a little drop shadow on it, just because it felt kind of plain just in the blue. I did some like little zigzags in the drop shadow, and then like filled in the blue more, because I've said this multiple times in this video, but I am not an artist. That's not the best drawing of the word 2020 I've ever seen. So this next page was supposed to be my 2020 vision board, but then I decided to do a vision board like in a larger format in my room. So what I ended up doing was my 2021 accomplishments, which is basically like things that I am planning on having done in 2020. I've been watching a lot of videos about manifestation and reading a lot about manifestation, and I just kind of wanted to put my quote-unquote goals in an affirmative language, so that it seemed as if, so that when I was writing it down, I was writing them down as if I already had them, you know. So I wrote the header for that page and I didn't like it, so I turned to move on to the next page, which is kind of like my stuff to watch, read, and listen to, but hopefully I'll use it more. It's just a 2021 TBW, so to be watched, and TBR, so to be read. So any books or TV shows that I hear about throughout the year that I am really interested in watching or reading, I wanted to have a place where I could write them down. So I made a little TV to go at the top of this part, and then a little bookcase, or two little bookcases to go at the bottom of the second part of the page. And it's, again, I will say, not the best drawing that anybody has ever done, but you know, it gets the job done. I'm just gonna write down the names of books in there. And then my second bookcase that I drew was making me feel frustrated, so I was just like, this is hideous. So I turned the page and decided to go back to my 2020 accomplishments page and try and make that something that I actually wanted to look at. Because my thing with bullet journaling is like, people have these beautiful headers where they do like such amazing hand lettering, and I can do that. If I worked really hard, I could learn how to hand letter the way these other people hand letter, but I don't want to. Not right now. Maybe some other time. So what I ended up doing was just coloring the header in black, because there's just no other way that I knew how to save it. So I colored the header in black, and then I also put a little black strip at the bottom, and I wrote in my white pens and my gold pen the title 2021 accomplishments. And I'm essentially just going to like put my goals there, but like in an affirmative language, so that I can manifest them into my life. Yes. So this is me going back to my TBW TBR page. I don't think I finished that page for a while because it was just ugly and I didn't know what to do with it. But to the right side, I'm doing my podcast brainstorm page. I have a podcast with my friend. We haven't posted it anywhere, but once we do, I will link it in the description box down below. Go listen to it. It's called Girls Who Grill. But it just is a podcast brain dump where I can go and put any ideas that I have for podcast episodes there. And I put it in like pastel candy colors, just because I just wanted my 2021 colors to be colors that made me feel happy and smiley. And I like pink, and I like light purple, and I like baby blue, so that's why I decided to do like candy colors all throughout this. This page is my YouTube planning page, so this is where I will plan my YouTube videos. I had that video ideas page in my 2020 bullet journal, and it was helpful as like a list, a place where I could like list ideas that I had, but it wasn't helpful to me because it didn't keep me accountable to making those videos, and it also like was hard for me to elaborate on how I wanted those videos to be made. So what I've done here instead is put every month of the year up, and I will still use my YouTube video ideas page to write down video ideas as I have them, but this is more so like a place for me to plan them before I upload, because I just have all these ideas in my head all the time. I'm like, this is what I want the voiceover to sound like, this is what I will want to cut in, I need to get this picture from this place, and so I just needed a place where I could keep all of that stuff in my head and plan, and hopefully that'll help me to actually upload more in 2021. So this page is my 2021 books page. It's in that, the title is in that like mint green color. And I just want to use this page to, I just want to use this page to write down all of the books that I read in 2021. I really like this color scheme of this like mint green with this salmon pink, I guess. So that is why I ended up going with that. But yeah, it's just simple. It's just a place where I can list all of the books that I read this year. And then, so to the right of that page, we have my 2021, we have my year in writing, or writing in pixels, something like that. So instead of me having trackers for my habits every month, I don't think that I have enough habits that I want to track that I feel the need to have monthly habit trackers. I mostly just want to see about what my writing is looking like, and it's not necessarily that I want to write every single day, it just is that I want to know how much I am writing this year. So that page is just for me to color in a box. On the y-axis, it is the day of a month, and on the x-axis, it is the like initial of the month name, and then I can go in and shade in the box for whatever day that I end up writing, and then at the end of the year, I can see how much I have written in total this year. I don't know why that was so hard to explain. Okay, so yeah, this is me finally going back to fix my TBR TBW page. Oh wait, no it isn't. I saw the pages and I just felt like they were kind of boring, so I had this washi tape that I think I got when I was in England. Yeah, I think I got it at a Fred Aldis or something in England. And I just wanted to like spice up the pages a little bit, so I just put it in places to make things cute. And then this is where I finally just went in and colored in the second bookcase that I had for my TBR TBW page. And this is my final flip through of my 2021 bullet journal. Essentially, my goal with this video is just to show anybody who's watching that you don't have to be an excellent artist to be able to have a bullet journal, to be able to make a bullet journal. You don't even have to be doing it the way that everybody else on YouTube or on Instagram is doing it. It really is just about finding a way that works for you. What I found for me is that monthly spreads and weekly spreads don't necessarily work for me outside of school, but having something that's a little bit more general and a little bit more focused on the year holistically, I think is going to really help me this year. To help me to not only have goals and be accountable to completing them, but also for me to have a bullet journal that I'm actually using and filling in, and not just creating spreads every week that kind of sit there empty, you know? So if you liked this video, if you liked seeing a little bit into my brain and my attempts to draw, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below talking about your bullet journal journey. I'm really interested in hearing it. And subscribe if you're interested in seeing content about journaling, books, fashion, makeup, really literally anything I fucking decide to talk about. So thank you so much for watching this, and yeah, I hope to see you again in my next video.